Alright, for this project we are only going to need three things. We're going to need a pencil, we're going to need a ruler, and we're going to need an eraser. Now you may see me use some other things. For example, I used a green pen for my horizon line or a red pen for my vanishing points. But in those cases, I'm just doing that for informational value. You're going to work to draw 3 cubes in 2-point perspective. The first one is going to be below the horizon line, so we'll be able to look down and see the top of the box or the top of the cube. The second one is going to be above the horizon line as if it's floating up in the air, and we'll be able to see 3 sides. We'll be able to also see the very bottom of the cube. And then the last one we'll draw, the third one, will actually be at the horizon line or on the horizon line. And this one will appear as if it is resting on the plane, but we will not be able to see the top of the cube. To begin, we're going to need a horizon line. So I'm going to put that right across the center of my paper. And I'm going to label this horizon line. Then I'm going to need 2 dots. These dots are going to be in just a little bit from the edge of the paper, about a thumb's width from the edge of the paper seems to work best. So I'm going to put 1 dot right here and 1 dot right over here. I'm going to label this one RVP for right vanishing point. This one I'm going to label LVP for left vanishing point. My first box is going to be drawn near the bottom of the paper, not all the way at the bottom, but near the bottom of the paper and somewhere close to the center. I'm going to start with a vertical line. So this line is going to be about an inch, maybe a little bit less. That's going to be my first line. So on your papers, label step number 1, vertical line. Step number 2 are going to be what some would call hexagonal lines, but because it's a lot easier to say alignment lines, we're going to draw alignment lines out. One alignment line is going to go from the left vanishing point to the top of my vertical line. Another one is going to go from the left vanishing point to the bottom of my vertical line. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing to the right hand side. From the right vanishing point to the top of my vertical line, and then from the right vanishing point again to the bottom of my vertical line. So these are my alignment lines. I'm going to write that on my paper, alignment lines. Once I have my alignment lines completed, the next step then, or step 3 in my box, is going to be 2 more vertical lines. So I'm going to make a left vertical line and a right vertical line. And I'll put that as step 3. L plus R vertical lines. Okay, I have my left vertical line, my right vertical line. My next line is going to be an alignment line that goes from the top of these lines to the right vanishing point and the top of the right line to the left vanishing point. So they're going to cross. This box is below eye level or below the horizon line, So I'm only going to see the top of it. I'll show you how that looks. Draw this alignment line out from the top of the left vertical line, and then the one from the top of the right vertical line is going to go to the left vanishing point. There you have it. You can see the cube or the box down below the horizon line. Once I have the cube completed, I'm going to reinforce my lines. I'm going to call these construction lines. So these you can draw in darker if you would like to. And then the rest of the alignment lines can be erased. So we're going to erase these lines. Alright, now you can see my cube down below eye level. I'm going to draw another cube above eye level, but before I do, I'm going to add the last two steps. So step number 4 are going to be cross. We'll call those cross alignment lines. And then step number 5 is going to be construction lines. Once I have the construction lines completed, they're darkened in. Step number 6, erase alignment lines. Alright, this next cube is going to be above the horizon line. And I'm going to put this one probably just a little bit over further to the right. With that in mind, I don't want to go outside or anywhere really close to my left vanishing point or my right vanishing point. Otherwise, it just won't look quite right. So I'm going to start with step number 1, which is a vertical line. It's going to go a little bit faster this time because we've done it once before. Once I've done with step 1 with my vertical line, the next are the alignment lines. This time though, I'm going to make it a little bit easier on my eraser. For example, I'm just going to draw a very short line from that vertical line towards my right vanishing point, and then do the same thing from the top of the vertical line to my right vanishing point. Much shorter lines this time. Do the same thing to the left. So those go from the left vanishing point. Step number 3, left and right vertical lines. Vertical line. Vertical line. Step number 4, cross lines. So now that's going to go from the bottom of these two vertical lines, and I'm going to line those up on the opposing vanishing points. So from the left vertical line, I'm going to draw a short line to the right vanishing point, and then from the right vertical line, I'm going to draw a line our way to the left vanishing point. So you can start to see the box there. Now by keeping all of these lines a little bit shorter, it certainly makes it much easier to erase. I can erase those ones. And I did go a little bit out of order, but you can see that we still have our construction lines. So I'll darken these in so that it's much easier to see. Here we have it, one cube up above the horizon line. Now there's something you need to know about this horizon line. The horizon line is always at eye level. So imagine that you are standing out on a plateau. You can imagine that this is really your eye level. So you can see the eye there. And this is your eye level. Since this is above eye level, you can look up and you would see the bottom. As this cube is below eye level, you would be looking down at the top of it and you'd see the top of that cube. The last one we're going to draw is going to be at eye level. So as if you cannot see the top or the bottom of the cube. For this cube, I'm going to start a little bit to the left. I'm going to draw a vertical line. That's going to start just a little bit above the horizon line, and it's going to go to just a little bit below the horizon line. So you can see it starts above the horizon line and ends a little bit below the horizon line. I'm going to step number 2, which is my alignment lines. So I'm going to do the right side first. Again, this isn't going to be a very long line to save my eraser a little bit, so I'm going to shorten those up. 2 lines that line up on the right vanishing point and 2 alignment lines that align to the left vanishing point. 1, 2, this one. Once I have those drawn in, now I can move down to my left and right vertical lines. Put those in. 1 and 2, making sure that all of my vertical lines are perfectly straight up and down. And I can erase the extras. Now you may notice that because I cannot see the top of this cube or the bottom of the cube, I do not have any cross alignment lines, and I do not have to erase any of the additional alignment lines that may be associated with it. If I had drawn my horizon line with a pencil, I'd be able to erase my horizon line inside of this box. Then I'm down to step number 5. It's my construction lines. I can darken those in. And my last step then would be to shade these cubes in as if there's a source of light. I'm going to show you how this works very simply. We're going to break each cube that we can see 3 sides on into 3 different values. This last cube though, since we can only see 2 sides, will only have 2 values. So this is the way it's going to work. Number 1 is going to be my lightest value. Number 3 is going to be my darkest value. Then I need a mid-tone for the second one. So I have steps 1, 2, and 3. 1 is going to stay white, 2 is going to be a little bit darker, 3 is going to be the darkest of all. On this cube, because we cannot see the top, I'm going to start with number 1 over here is going to be the lightest side. Step number 2 is going to be over here a little bit darker, and since this is the very bottom, that's going to be step number 3, or the darkest will be on the bottom. This cube that's on the horizon line only shows 2 sides, so I'm only going to have 2 values there. And I'm going to use number 1 on the left, just like I have here, and number 2 on the right. You have it. 3 cubes, 1 below eye level, 1 above eye level, and 1 at eye level.